Hey, good afternoon. Here we are, semi-snowy, cold April day in the mountains of Colorado. Gotta love it. And what better setting and environment to talk about what we're going to talk about today, which is, if I stand back here, by the way, you don't see the reflection of my glasses in my light. But we're going to talk about my favorite thing, chaos. Scripting chaos. There we go. I had a little technical problem there. Don't touch the wrong button on your camera. Let that be a lesson to you folks if you're doing one of these things. There's lots of little shiny flashing lights and things like that that make you want to touch it and move it and shift it, which is another great example of chaos. So let's start off with what is chaos? Chaos is defined by you. It's what you think it is. Pardon me for a second. Seem to be having some more chaotic trouble here. For whatever reason, our YouTube isn't working today, but I got you on Facebook and LinkedIn. So back to what chaos is. Chaos is defined by the individual. What may be watch my mic, sorry about that. What may be chaotic to you is not going to be chaotic to me, and vice versa. You know, I always love to use the analogy of the waiter or the waitress. And like a Chili's or one of those kind of restaurants where they can get really busy, all kinds of things going on at that prime dinner hour. Man, the bar's full. The tables are all full, and the waiter is just like, oh my gosh, I'm losing control. Everything is happening all at once. This feels so chaotic. But it's a feeling. That's the wonderful thing about chaos. You decide whether or not it's chaos for you. Again, it's a perception thing. What I may see as chaotic, you may not. And I'd be willing to bet there's a lot of things that I've seen and done and been through in my life that somebody else, unprepared, untrained, inexperienced, would look at and go, oh my gosh, how'd you do that? That seems so chaotic, so crazy. But it's not. And that's the great thing about it. Chaos is an opportunity. Chaos is this opportunity where you can accept the challenge and make a difference. So again, back to what is chaos. Chaos is when things feel out of control. I've got so many things going on. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle it. Things are coming at me. Things are running away from me. More things are coming at me. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling tired. It's like, it's all coming at me. That's that feeling of chaos. But guess what? It's just a feeling. That's the beautiful thing about chaos. Now, another thing about chaos can come from the unknown unknowns. So when we talk about risk, got to get my pen going. When we have risk, we have known unknowns. And that's when we identify something that could happen that could prevent us from being successful, right? I may not get that loan. That those clients may not stay on with us. Those are known risks when I start to think about what's my risk to success, my risk to achieving the outcome. Chaos comes because we know what those things are, right? So we can handle those. Chaos comes with this one, my favorite, unknown unknowns. Oh, wait a second, Otis. You just wrote the same word twice. How is that? How is that anything? Unknown unknowns. Well, guess what? That's the thing. We don't know about them. We don't know that, pardon me, another little technical glitch there. I think I fixed it. We don't know that there's going to be a virus that's going to shut everything down. We don't know that the stock market is going to drop. We don't know various things. We may be able to predict the weather, but we don't know that we're going to get 12 inches of snow tonight. I hope not. But that's an unknown known. Anytime I name something, it becomes a known unknown. Because guess what? I just identified it, so that makes it known when I talk about risk. The unknown unknowns are unknown. 4 years ago, 2 weeks till we open it back up, or 2 weeks till it's gone, or whatever the 2-week thing was. Think about that. That was an unknown unknown. We moved into this space of not knowing what's going to happen when. Because of that, it was an unknown unknown. There's a great business book, called Black Swan. Talks about these not necessarily massive, but significant watershed, unpredictable events that cause a significant change in the world. Not just a minor change, but a significant change. And every Black Swan event is an unknown unknown. So what do we do about unknown unknowns? Because what do unknowns create? They create chaos. Chaos is undefined. And because chaos is undefined, we don't know what it's going to be. So how do we prepare for chaos? Because you're sitting there going, wait a second, Otis, you said script chaos. How do I script chaos? If it's chaos, Otis, isn't it unknown? Isn't it an unknown unknown? It is. This is where it gets fun. Because the better you understand who and what you are, the better you can handle when an unknown comes to be. So, I'll give you an example. Where I lived, Denver, hour plus drive without traffic. But I can tell you, 99% of the time when I make that drive, whether it's to visit somebody, go to an Avs game, come home, whatever, I'm going to put on my GPS. Because you know what the GPS tells me? It predicts the risk of traffic because I'm using the GPS to identify known risks to my travel time because they're unknown. But if I didn't have a GPS, if I was making that same drive 10 years ago, probably, we'll just say 10 years ago. 10 years ago, and I wasn't using the GPS because I still didn't trust it didn't think Google Maps really knew what was going on, then things happen along my route, an accident, a pop-up construction zone that would cause an unknown. And all of a sudden my hour drive to go to an Avalanche game now becomes a 90-minute drive, a 2-hour drive or more. That's an unknown because I didn't do anything about it. But now I have a tool to mitigate that risk. And we can do that in so many different places. And that's what I'm talking about when I say we're scripting chaos. I still don't know if something's going to happen. There could still be something else happening out there. But you know what? An unknown along that route, if I'm mitigating that risk using a GPS that calculates the best way to get from point A to point B, I'm mitigating it, and I'm not allowing chaos. Because again, back to what is chaos? Chaos is defined in a belief that you have. Now, the guy in the truck next to me may think this is chaos. I may see it coming because I've got a tool, and it's not an unknown to me. It's a known unknown to me. And now when it happens, it's a known. There I go again, my doubles. A known, and it's not chaos to me. Whereas the dude driving the pickup truck right next to me didn't know anything about it. And he goes, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? How am I going to get to work? What am I going to do? I'm going to be late and can't get that job done. All these sort of things. It becomes chaos. And it builds and it spirals out of control. But if we put things in place, chaos can be our friend. Because, use that same example. When that chaos hit, when that known unknown, because I'm using a tool to predict traffic and problems, and that tool tells me something's going on, and I need to vary my route, vary my actions, then I'm not getting confused. I'm not getting lost. I'm not stuck in the quagmire of indecision and indecisiveness. That's how we overcome chaos, and we prevent chaos from being something that stops us. So, now, let me see. See if I got enough moisture left in my sponge, because I want to, maybe not. Woo. All right, mental note, Otis, re-wet your sponge right before you talk, okay? Let me give this clean up, because what I'm going to do now is tell you what to do and how to handle chaos when it happens. When that thing happens and you go, oh my gosh, what do I do? It's all coming apart. I'm losing it. Everything is out of control. So I'll get a drink of water. Because that's a demonstration on what you do when chaos happens. When you feel chaos, guess what you need to do? When chaos happens, pause. Take a breath. Stop. Ask yourself, how bad is it? Is it really that bad? What's the worst that can become of this? Think about it that way. Pause. And I just said this. Ask questions. Why are we asking questions? We're gathering information. We're gathering data. Because data is going to help us understand what is happening. We are going to measure what's going on so that we can make an informed decision. Now, I'm the kind of guy, and I'm going to guess at least half of you out there are too, that is what has been described as action bias. What does action bias mean? That means if I see something broken, wrong, man, my first reaction is boom, take action to it. I've got a solution. That's broken, I got a tool. That ain't right, I've got a solution. I know how to fix it. That's action bias. Action bias has its advantages. It also has its disadvantages. Because when you're action bias, when you see something that you believe is not correct, is not right, your first reaction is, let's go do something about it right there. We're not going to take time to analyze and measure and see what's going on in the situation. It has its advantages, it has its disadvantages. Because if I just run off towards a solution, What if that's not the right solution? Then I'm spending time and money making more and more actions in directions that may not solve the problem. So when I catch myself in chaos, I do step one, I pause. I do step two, I ask questions to collect data. Because now that I'm collecting data, I'm analyzing the situation. I'm collecting information about what's the situation. How bad is it really? Because your mind cannot make a decision, an accurate, positive decision, when your mind is in panic mode. And generally speaking, that's what happens. If you are not well trained and you believe you're in a chaotic situation, your mind will go into fight or flight mode, panic mode. There are no good, solid solutions when your mind is in panic mode. So that's why we want to pause. We're going to take a breath. We're going to assess the situation. Start collecting our data, ask questions. Then we're going to develop solutions. So when we develop solutions, we are coming up with ideas and ways that we may move out of the current situation to positive action, to positive ground, so that we're no longer feeling chaotic. When we develop solutions, I'm not going to go into the whole decision-making process that I teach in our Green Beret Leadership Program, but that's what we're doing. We're doing a quick action decision-making. We're collecting data, we're coming up with solutions, we're analyzing the solutions, and we're picking a solution. And step number 4 is we're putting together the plan. There, I'll do it this way. I'm writing backwards because I wrote down plan. But you should build the plan. Build it. Because you got to have a plan. You have to have a plan. In order to handle the situation, to move out of the situation, you have to have a plan. And I just gave you a hint to what number 5 is. Number 5 is take action. So we've analyzed it. Sorry, a little technical difficulty going again. There we go. So we've analyzed it. We've realized that we're in a chaotic situation. I'm going to pause. I'm going to ask questions, collect data. I'm going to develop solutions, analyze it. What's the best way of doing this? What's the best way of handling this? Put together a plan, and then I'm going to take action. Boom. I'm moving out of it. And you know what happens when you take action? It's no longer chaos. Chaos is that feeling of loss of control. When I do these 5 steps, when you do these 5 steps, boom. When you take action, when you get to that one right there, number 5, guess what? You are back in control. The situation is no longer chaotic. Now, how long does this take? How much time the question you have to ask is, how much time do I have? Because when you collect the data and you ask questions, your pause can just mean don't take immediate action right now. You feel you are in chaos. That means when I pause, I don't take immediate action right now. I'm going to pause. But a pause can be a moment. It can be a couple of seconds. It could be 10 seconds. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. Hell, it could be 2 or 3 days. Depending on the situation, what's going on. You may have that time available to get back in control of your assessment, your feeling of the situation. That's the beauty of it. When we are back in control, we are more intentional, and we can make better decisions. That's the beauty of these 5 steps. Now, I'm gonna pause there, and I'm gonna shift to answer the question I know that you got. Otis, man, how do I plan for unplanned? How do I plan for unknown? Unknown unknowns. What do I do about those? You just told me they're unknown. How can you plan for them? You can't. That's why they're unknown. But the more you understand the situation, the more you understand who you are, the more you understand your capabilities, what you're trying to accomplish, what's the outcome, what's the vision, the more in control you are, the less chaos there is, no matter what happens. The less chaotic it feels. The unknowns, the list of unknown unknowns shrinks. Yes, there's still the black swans. Don't get me wrong. Those are the big and scary unknown unknowns. But you know what? If you know what the outcome is, and you know your performance capability, your team's performance capability, your business, your organization, your household, you know what you need to do, chaos doesn't matter. You go, that happened? Cool. That's the way I like to think about it. I'm like, y'all remember about 4 years ago when the whole Rona thing first happened? What were we all thinking? Walking Dead, zombies, right? We're all like, yeah, I know what to do in this situation. I got guns, I got ammo, I got chow, I got an evacuation plan. You just took care of chaos. You just went from being afraid of the unknown unknowns to being back in charge. Well, now, not everybody was thinking that way. And I'll admit, yes, I'm in that category of folks that were disappointed because there weren't no zombies. But I still got my zombie sticks and my zombie defense plan going on here because you know what? I got a plan. And when I have a plan, whether it's a flood, a blizzard, a zombie apocalypse, a nuclear holocaust, whatever it may be that's chaotic, that creates a chaos, and those are all very, very extreme, by the way, I know what to do. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't plan for this one, but I did have a plan for this one and this one. And because I planned for these things, guess what? I can handle that thing. That's the beauty of it. That is what scripting chaos is about. I am taking a situation where everybody else in the business world, in the industry, is in panic mode, and I'm like, what's the opportunity here? Because if I do these 5 things, I'm going to have opportunity. Because I'm taking advantage of the situation. The situation is no longer putting me at a disadvantage. I'm taking advantage of it because I have put in the pre-work. You know, another friend of mine works for FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. And we've talked many times over the years, because I used to do the Homeland Security stuff also. We've talked many times over the years about the continuity of operations for business. You know, whether it's a flood, a fire in the office, or whatever. Loss of internet, and no access to your data files and things like that. Well, what do you do about that? Those are some known unknowns. Those are some risks that I can prepare for, because I want to mitigate my risk. I want to take my known unknowns and mitigate those, right? Those risks. I mitigate them. I put things in place to mitigate them, whether it's extra hard drives, plans for backups, cloud storage, you name it. There's lots of different ways of doing it on the business side. Where you put your bank, how you run your payroll, all these sort of things. Those are all mitigating for known unknowns. But then when things shut down, market crashes, ransomware, name something else that you're unexpected, like the casinos, the big hotel casinos in Las Vegas that got hit with ransomware. They didn't have a continuity of operations plan. And when they got hit with it, they were stuck. Took them a while, a couple of them. One of them, I don't remember which one it was. It took them 3 days to rebuild, 3 or 4 days to rebuild all their data. But that also meant, in order to rebuild all that data, I guarantee they had some backups that weren't affected by the ransomware. They prepared for an unknown. That's chaos. That's recognizing chaos, accepting what you have to do to move out of it. It is no different than stepping into a big mud puddle and getting your foot stuck and going, all right, how do I get out of here? Because if I put my other foot forward, it's very likely to be stuck, and then I'll have both feet stuck in the mud puddle. So what are my options? Move backwards, pull it out, grab it with my foot. Maybe I got somebody next to me. Maybe there's a tree. I'm looking for options to pull out of that quagmire of being pulled down into it. Because what I'm doing when I'm scripting chaos is I have a plan and I have an understanding of who I am and what my capabilities are. And when things go awry, they go off track, they go crazy, they veer out of control, then I can handle it. Because even if it's something, if it falls into that unknown unknowns, guess what? I recognize that I'm in a chaotic state. I'm in a near panic state. I pause. I start asking questions to collect data. How bad is it really? Is it really the end of the world? Is it really a zombie apocalypse, Otis? Come on. Maybe next time. Then I develop solutions. What have we done in the past? How have we handled this? What capabilities do we have? What do we have as backups? What do we have in the warehouse that we can pull out right now and put into operation? What other partners and strategic business alliances do I have in place that may be able to help us and pull us out of the quagmire of the mud that my foot's stuck in? I develop those solutions. I analyze those solutions and I pick one. I pick whichever one I believe is the best one. And I put together a plan to move from chaos to focused effort. To this is where we're going, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we are still going to be successful and still achieve the outcome that we have set forth in our plan to move out and be successful. And then we take action. We move out. We're back in control. It's no longer a chaotic situation. We are in control of the situation. When we're in control of the situation, our mind works better. We're focused. We know what's going on. We're continuing to collect data and measure what is being successful, what is not successful, and we're making those adjustments. We're micro-pivoting, if you want to call it that, and we're continuing to move in the direction of out of the quagmire, out of the chaos, back in control into intentional actions to achieve our vision and the outcome we want. That is how you handle chaos. That is how you script chaos. That's how you take chaos and flip it on its little bitty head and say, you ain't getting me today, chaos, because I ain't got it. You ain't got it. I know I can handle it. And I know that as soon as I feel overwhelmed, I feel that chaos, all I got to do is those 5 steps. Pause, ask questions, develop solutions, build a plan, execute. That's it. Do not be afraid of chaos. Embrace it, because others will not. Others are afraid of chaos. I love stepping into chaos because I love taking control of it, taking control of that situation and moving forward with intention to that direction that I want to achieve, to the direction that I want my business and my life to be. I don't allow chaos to freeze me up, to scare me. I thrive in it. I look for it. Where's the gap? That's where chaos is. I move into the gap and I take it. You can do the same if you understand who you are, what you are, and how you do it. And if you're dealing with that, if you're feeling that frustration right now as you're listening to me, I got a solution for you. I got 2 solutions for you. Take that back. I got 3. I'll throw a 3rd one at you. Number 1, you need help getting your operations, your culture, your functionality of your business under control and efficient and effective so that you can launch that next level of growth. Called Tribe and Purpose, fractional COO. That's the solution we provide to small businesses to help them launch to the next level of success. We help take the load off of the daily activities, take the load of daily activities off the CEO so the CEO can do his job, which is to focus up and out to grow the business. You can't do that if you're in the day-to-day fight. Fractional COOs help you do that, help break you out of that day-to-day chaos so that you can focus and be intentional going forward. We call that our done-for-you process. And if you want to learn more about what we do at Tribe and Purpose and how we can help you and your business grow and be successful, go to 10xyourteam.net. Click on that. You're going to see 3 options. 1, your DIY, do it yourself. Listen to our podcast, 350 shows, all of them with great business leaders, great lessons about how to handle things. We just recorded one today with my buddy Scott Kinder about management versus leadership and what that means. A lot of great lessons in that one. That's number 1. Number 2, our leadership development system. That's a done with you. That's how we help you grow leaders within your team. If you do not have a system to identify and develop leaders within your team, you are always playing catch up. You are not setting your team up for success. They will miss out. The School of Hard Knocks is a school. There's a reason it's called a school. It's not the best school in the world. It's a pretty tough school. And a lot of people don't get it. And some people get it, but most people, it takes a long time. And it's not going to take the same amount of time it took you. So if you think, look at me, I got it. I figured it out, Otis, I don't need no school. Good. But if you're a true leader, you want to take care of your team and you want to set them up for success with the Tribe and Purpose Leadership Development System. And finally, if you really want to grow your business, you want to excel, you want to achieve more, you want to get to that next level of success, then you call us up, set up a call with me, 30-minute call, and we'll talk about how putting a fractional COO on your team will enable you to grow your business to the next level. That right there, a chief operating officer that takes the load off and sets the standards, creates the culture of innovation and success for your team so that you can launch that next level of success. Set up a call with me. When you go to 10xyourteam.net, look for that button that says, set up a call with Otis. I'll help you figure it out. I'll give you some pointers and some ideas, and we'll help you start moving forward out of the chaos and quagmire of stagnation into intentional actions to achieve that next level of success. So, thank you for paying attention. Thank you for being part of the Tribe and Purpose tribe. We don't get here without you. We appreciate you being part of it. And I'll see you again in May when we're going to hit this again. I'm going to have another great subject for you. I'm excited. I love sharing what I know and how I achieve my success and how I move forward with intention so that I can help you do the same. Thank y'all.